as insane as this sounds, there are still Democrats and media outlets saying that Mueller's report is not accurate and that there was collusion between President Trump and the Russians. Friends, it's time for us to fight back, and I'm going to teach you on this program ways that you can fight and make a difference. I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance. Think rotten tomatoes. Think rotten tomatoes. I'm talking about plays. I'm talking about in the old days when a thespian was on the stage and he was reciting the lines from a play. If it was bad, the audience would throw rotten fruit. Now, we're not going to do that. But I'm trying to put that image in your head because Adam Schiff, the head of the House Intelligence Committee, this Democrat lying, despicable human being, he is not going to go off script. There are Republicans right now urging his immediate resignation. And there's a good chance he will be forced to resign. We'll see how it plays out. But listen to me, friends. He's like a bad actor on a stage who's going to deliver his lines no matter what. It's the job of the crowd, the audience at that point, to boo, to hiss, to catcall, and yes, back in old England, merry old England, to throw rotten tomatoes, to throw rotten fruit, so that the actor recognizes, and the director and the other staff and the other crew recognize just how bad it is, and so that other people who are in the community and are tempted to go and watch the play, that they don't go. Our mission is to defeat the liars, to expose their lies. Now let me back up. Let me back up. You can go any place. You can go to Rush, you can go to Sean, you can go to Mark Levin. There's some great broadcasters out there on television and on radio. Not many, not like there used to be, but they're out there. You can go and you can get the facts. The New York Times is now saying that the fact that the Mueller report is 300 pages long and Barr reduced it to 4 pages means Barr's obviously hiding something. So the New York Times is just not blinking an eye. They're going forward with their godless agenda. They want Trump out, and they want to continue to deceive and misguide the American people. I wish, God, please forgive me. I'm not using God's name in vain. I wish to heaven, to God, that I lived in the town that Adam Schiff lives in. I'd be camped out at his house. Frisbee v. Schultz, the right to be in a residential neighborhood. That's the name of the Supreme Court case, Frisbee v. Schultz. The right to be in a residential neighborhood, challenging, confronting whoever lives there on some political issue. We've done it. We've done it before, people. We've gone to the homes of elected officials. I would be at Adam Schiff's neighborhood, up and down the street, talking about this demon-possessed evildoer with signs, hanging him in effigy, tar and feather him in effigy. Do like the founders of the Republic did. They were doing this kind of stuff all the time because he's an evil man. And it's not enough for us right now to say, oh, President Trump is off the hook, no collusion. Mueller wanted Trump. Don't kid yourself. This was a 2-year investigation, tens of millions of dollars, 500 plus subpoenas. They wanted Trump. No, it was thousands of subpoenas, 500 witnesses. I mean, just unthinkable. Nothing was there. It was a lie from the beginning. It was bought and paid for by Hillary's campaign, the phony dossier. You know all this. That's not why I'm doing this show today. I'm doing this show today to pick up right where I left off on Tuesday, and that is to give you permission to throw tomatoes. Now, the poor widow babies over at the People for the American Way and Right Wing Watch and the Young Turks. Randall Terry is calling for acts of violence against members of Congress. Morons. No, I'm not. Figuratively speaking, throw tomatoes, people. How do you throw tomatoes, Randall? I'm glad you asked. Anywhere, any way that you can say what the truth is, that Adam Schiff is a liar, that the Mueller probe was a fake, that Hillary belongs in jail. Tell your friends who are Democrats, people unsure, people who don't really like Trump, just start to get in their face. Be polite, be impolite. Be intense, be mild. Write letters to the editor. When's the last time that you actually wrote a letter to the editor? Have you ever written one? 3, 4, 6, 8 paragraphs? We should be filling the inboxes of every newspaper in America. We should be going after, if I lived in New York City, if I was there on the ground right now, I would be at the Rockefeller Center where CBS, ABC, NBC is. I would wait for George Stephanopoulos to get out of his car. I've done this stuff, people. You have no idea. Just confronting them to their face. George Stephanopoulos, you're a liar. You're a liar. How can you even look in the mirror? Yeah, you can skedaddle in the door, but remember, when you look in the mirror, you're looking at a liar. Click, he shuts the door, he's in there. But it rattles them. It gets to them, and that's the truth. And we know that the thespian, who's a bad actor on the stage, he's going to keep doing his lines. He's going to keep lying. Adam Schiff is going to keep lying. The purpose of throwing rotten tomatoes in the play is to get the crowd in on it. We've got to get the crowd in on it. That these people are liars. And it's not enough for us to look at our TV and go, you're lying to me. We have to tell our friends, our neighbors, the people in church. Write a little flyer and give it out to everyone in your church. Why not? You've got a printer at your house. You got a FedEx down the road or an Office Depot. Write a little 8.5 by 11, summarize the lies, and then hand it out at church. Good idea, huh? Some of you are going to do it. Write a note to a blog post. The point is, all right, I'm going to take a quick break. Don't go away. I'll be right back. I'm going to give you a salient example of what I'm talking about, why this is so critical. Don't go away. Introducing Roxy Guitar. If you're a guitar or bass player, whether you play acoustic or electric, check out Roxy Guitar. I've been playing for over 40 years and seen guitar stores all over America. I've never seen a store like Roxy Guitar. Roxy Guitar has over 700 guitars in stock, over 1,500 pedals, over 200 amps. For the beginner or price-conscious buyer, there's Michael Kelly guitars. For the serious player or professional, Roxy Guitar has the finest selection of guitar lines I've ever seen. You know I love Warrior guitars. Roxy Guitar has over 100 Warriors in stock. They have Heritage, G&L, Gretsch, John Sears, BC Rich, Duesenberg, Dean, legendary guitars at great prices, including pre-owned Gibsons, Fenders, and more. Let them know you heard about Roxy Guitar from Randall Terry and receive 10% or more off your purchase on select items. Go to roxyguitar.com. All right, I'm back. For 2 years, tens of millions of Americans have been fed a steady diet of lies. Lies. I was looking at them before I came on the air. One reporter after another saying, Mueller is on it. There's definitely collusion between Trump and Russia. It was all a lie. They've lied. They've lied so much that there are literally 35, 40% of the American people, depending on what poll you read, that still to this moment believe that Trump colluded with Russia. It's because these people, they're not watching my show. They're not watching Fox News. They're not listening to Rush. They're being fed a diet of lies from CNN, MSNBC, ABC, Fox. Not Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC. And the New York Times is the tail that wags the dog. So you just watch over the next 48 to 72 hours, all the way into the weekend. The big story on the godless networks will be that Barr's summary of the 4-page summary is hiding something. The Mueller report is too big. There's something in there that we're not being allowed to see. So now the Democrats get to just over and over say what? We need to see the whole report. We know Trump is guilty of something. We need to see the whole report. Give us the report. Give us the report. Nancy Pelosi, give us the report. What about this? Don't you understand? We want the whole report. So the lapdogs, the God haters in the press, in the main fake news, what are they doing? They're putting up these sound bites. I just watched a clip from, I would play it, but I don't want to waste the time. So the Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee sent a letter to Schiff saying, you got to resign. So CBS News, rather than play that, plays Schiff with his little soundbite saying, you may think it's all right for the president's staff to have met with Russian intelligence, but I don't. You may think it's all right that the president of the United States was trying to negotiate the biggest deal in his life with the Russian government while he was a candidate, but I don't. So CBS Evening News, continuing the narrative that Adam Schiff is somehow a good man. He's not a good man. He's an evil man. And I mean that with clinical precision. He's an evil man, and he's one of the few men that actually knows he's evil. He knows he's evil. There are men who know they're evil, and they're committed to a path of evil. He's one of them. So CBS plays Adam Schiff riding high in the saddle. I'm believable, I'm credible, and we know that Trump is guilty, and I won't resign. You may think it's all right, but I don't. They could have just as easily played the clip of the Republicans, because Schiff has been involved in 2 years of lying and leaks, maybe criminal activity. CBS didn't play that. They played the clip to continue Schiff's lying narrative. Because CBS has been in a lying narrative, CBS has to cover their own backside and make you, not you, but make other people, gullible people, still believe that there's something there when the report says no collusion. The end. The whole purpose of this stupid special counsel was to see if there was collusion between Trump and the Russians, which there never was. It was always a lie. It was always a fabrication, but it gave a 2-year steady diet of lies. So the reason I'm explaining to you, explaining to you why you should, begging you to do it, begging you to throw rotten tomatoes with your pen, with your voice. If you live in an area where some of these people are, get in their faces. In whatever way you can. Hold up a sign, stand there and smile. So Adam Schiff is a despicable liar. Adam Schiff is an evil man. In other words, think through the cast of characters and then figure out what it is that you can do. Don't tell me you can't do anything. Do not tell me that. Okay, there's just way too many things that a person can do. You can, you know what, even if it's one-on-one, pick 2 or 3 people in your life that you know. I spoke yesterday to a lady, Christian woman, works in an office with a bunch of devout Christian Democrats. And she said to them, hey, did you hear that the Democrats in New York have just made it legal to kill a baby up till the day of birth? All right, Christian Republican woman talking to her Christian Democrat lady friends who are Christians, just in the Democrat Party, because that's what their daddy and their granddaddy did. The Democrat women said, no, that is not true. I absolutely refuse to believe it. Nope. And then they went on with their way. And the lady who told them, guess what she didn't do? Right. Didn't challenge them. Didn't say, no, look, here's the story. So she went out a little bit on a limb and then retreated to maintain an unholy peace, to maintain calmness in the office or with family. In other words, friends, saying the truth is sometimes really disruptive. It just is. And it's our love of an unholy peace that keeps us from saying the truth. It's the love of our own reputation. You fill in the blank. Why don't I say the truth? In a life and death situation, why do we hold our tongue? It's some issue of self-preservation or self-protection, not wanting to hurt people's feelings, wanting to keep a job, wanting to keep a friend. In other words, we're willing to let a horrific injustice happen. What if I were to hang Adam Schiff in effigy? What if we were to take, what's his name? What's the head of CNN? The black guy. I can't remember his name. I'll get it. What if we did something where we tarred and feathered him and whipped him and hung him in effigy? A black man, he's black, okay? What do you think would happen? Zucker, Jeff Zucker, that's his name. What if we had an image of Jeff Zucker, put him up on a scaffolding, beat him, right? And then hung him for crimes against the American people by lying and trying to subvert a presidency. Just all in jest, right? All in straight theater, all in political activism. What do you think would happen? Well, first of all, because he's black, and there's a horrific history of black men being lynched and beaten, people would come unglued. They would ask for my head. Okay, they'd ask for my head. Now you might say, well, Randall, that would be really inappropriate. Maybe it would be, but what's worse? What's worse? Flogging a man unjustly? President Trump, I'm talking about. Falsely accusing someone? Trying to take down a presidency? With lies? With criminal acts? Like the illegal FISA warrants? Criminal acts. See, we've gotten so twisted and perverted in our brains that more outrage would be shown for hanging and whipping a black man who's the head of CNN. There'd be more outrage shown for that than there is outrage that an innocent man has been flogged through the media, tarred and feathered through the media, hung out to dry by the media. And I'm talking about our president. That's how warped we've gotten, friends. That's how warped we've gotten. Don't go away. I'll be right back. I want to talk about that actor from Empire up in Chicago. Here's another situation. Don't go away.
I also want to speak tonight directly to Muslims throughout the world. We respect your faith. Its teachings are good and peaceful. And those who commit evil in the name of Allah blaspheme the name of Allah.
We have reaffirmed again and again that the United States is not and never will be at war with Islam. Islam teaches peace.
Islam is a religion of peace. They are not Muslims, they are monsters.
We've been told that Muslim terrorists have hijacked the peaceful religion of Islam. But Islamic art and literature tell a very different story. To know the truth, we only have to study the narrative of the founder of Islam, Muhammad, in his own words. Welcome back, friend. So Jussie Smollett, the actor from Empire, who will not be returning to Empire, by the way, all the charges are dropped. And there's genuine rage. It is, so forget white privilege for a minute. Let's talk about homosexual privilege, black privilege, left-wing Democrat privilege. That's what we're dealing with. Hollywood elite privilege. 4 privileges here. This guy's got all 4 working at the same time. Can you imagine if you or I put on our MAGA hat, Make America Great Again, and we walked down a street at night and we hired a couple of black guys to beat the crap out of us? Made sure it was on the videos, pour bleach on us. We paid them. And then we say, we're just walking down the road evangelizing, telling people about Jesus. And we had our Make America Great hat on. We were handing out literature. And these black guys jumped us and said, we hate Donald Trump and we hate you Christians. You're homophobes. You're racist. And they beat us and we've got to have you find them. Can you imagine? And then the authorities found out that we were lying. Do you think that we would have our charges dropped? It's so horrific what has happened. I got to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to tell you where we're headed. I'm going to prophesy to you. If we don't raise up our voices and we don't decry this, All right? Jussie Smollett is like a gift from heaven or a stupid gift from the devil to show us in vibrant colors the evil of the Mueller investigation and the media and the two-tier justice system. Don't go away. What Would Mohammed Do? Islamic Terrorism Explained is the best movie series documentary ever produced on the life of Muhammad and Islam. How do I know? Because it's what critics are saying. John Moore, radio host and author, said, "I learned more from What Would Mohammed Do about Islam and Islamic terrorism than I've learned from everything I ever read and watched in my entire life." Friends, this is what the experts are saying. No one has ever done what we've done. I encourage you to get 1, 2, 4 copies. Call 304-289-3700 or order it at the address or the website that you see on the screen. Introducing Roxy Guitar. If you're a guitar or bass player, whether you play acoustic or electric, check out Roxy Guitar. I've been playing for over 40 years and seen guitar stores all over America. I've never seen a store like Roxy Guitar. Roxy Guitar has over 700 guitars in stock, over 1,500 pedals, over 200 amps. For the beginner or price-conscious buyer, there's Michael Kelly guitars. For the serious player or professional, Roxy Guitar has the finest selection of guitar lines I've ever seen. You know I love Warrior guitars. Roxy Guitar has over 100 Warriors in stock. They have Heritage, G&L, Gretsch, John Sears, BC Rich, Duesenberg, Dean, legendary guitars at great prices, including pre-owned Gibsons, Fenders, and more. Let them know you heard about Roxy Guitar from Randall Terry and receive 10% or more off your purchase on select items. Go to roxyguitar.com. What happens when votes no longer matter? Elections don't matter. There's a stream of lies and propaganda. When guilty people are punished and when innocent people are punished and guilty people are let free. What happens? Society reaches a breaking point. I believe that the left, if they could have their way, if they could bring physical violence against us, they would do it. They're killing babies. They're killing babies. They can get away with it. They're killing babies. I mean, they're already, the spirit of murder already exists with them. Okay? So, when I was a young man, I did an interview, long interview, and the discussion came up about whether or not we would be willing to die for freedom. And then about a year later, I had an epiphany. The question that the founders of this republic asked, not just would they be willing to die for freedom, would they be willing to kill for freedom? That is what George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, the men who fought, the men who were in the Continental Congress, the question that they wrestled with was, would they be willing to kill their fellow English citizens to defend their rights? I believe that if things don't turn around, we're headed for civil war. We're headed for violence. I don't know exactly what it will look like. It will not be like the Civil War in the 1860s, but I believe it's coming unless we have some type of a revival and a repentance. And by the way, for those of you that believe in revival and repentance, it must focus on child killing and homosexual marriage. If it does not, it's not true revival. Because true revival would reflect the heart of God. And those two things really matter to God. So if we don't have some kind of a spiritual revival and a change of the political direction of this country, I believe that some level of civil war is coming. Force is coming. Deaths are coming. I don't want it to be true. Please, God, give us revival. That's why we can yell and speak and scream and prophesy and preach now to change hearts. But if the left wing can come at us, if they could hurt us physically, they would. And there will come a time when the righteous are going to have to say, we're going to protect ourselves from tyranny, which is what the American colonists did. They protected themselves from tyranny. I'll see you next time. God bless you.